Iryna, Zarutska. The devil wins again. We got to start picking up some wins somewhere, people. We really do. Very, very hard to talk about these things. I'm seeing some of the commentary by some of my peers online. Very much, there's a lot of anger out there, and I get it. Righteous anger. You watch this kid, this poor kid, this innocent girl, minding her own business, sitting on a tram. It's above ground tram in Charlotte, North Carolina. This guy sits behind her, watching her, and just comes up and stabs and kills her. The devil wins. But then the devil kept racking up the wins. Because if you watch the entire video, each and every person on that train watched it happen and didn't do a thing. Didn't do anything. That poor girl died alone, scared out of her mind. People on the train, they didn't do anything. You know, it makes you wonder sometimes, really, the sheer volume of sociopaths that live amongst us. How again, I can't even, the concept is so foreign to me that you would do nothing to help someone that was just stabbed right next to you. For crying out loud, the perpetrator walked off the train and you still did nothing. There's no greater calling than to help your fellow man who is in need. I don't understand. I don't. I can't get my arms around this world that we're living in. I can't. And again, I know there's nothing new under the sun. I'm well aware of that, because I know I'll get email. Well, it was worse here at this time, and this was worse, and that's worse. Young lady who's got a great social media account, and it's called the War on Beauty. I think I've highlighted before, and she kind of highlights and points out, you know, various different things in culture and art, architecture, various different things, and how things have been degraded. And again, that was, you know, part of one of the goals of the left and the goals of progressivism, communism, was to make art ugly. Again, she's a Catholic, and I don't like it when people go off in rants, and especially young people, and they feel defeated. She put this out. From the United States to Europe, it wouldn't be clearer that Western civilization, the greatest that has ever been and ever will be, is over. We live in the ruins of a once great society. And what we see around us now are the final twitches of the already dead body. We don't produce, we don't create, we don't plan, we don't dream, we don't excel, we don't act. The blood, sweat, and tears of the greatest warriors, saints, kings, and the most brilliant intellectual minds were for what? For same day Amazon delivery? Start to sound like me. To take out a loan for a Chipotle burrito. To get high, sit in bed, watch Netflix all day, play video games. Again, she cites a Pink Floyd song. To be comfortably numb while the world literally burns. The barbarians are not only within our walls, but they are in charge of our courts, our schools, entertainment, politics, just about everything else. While we distractingly feed off what's left of the carcass of the West before it's totally sucked dry. Progressivism is clearly nothing, but so is so-called modern-day conservatism. The answer is not to move out of the cities, to never leave your house or whatever else. Why should we hide and scatter? Again, she sounds defeated here, and I don't like that. Tourette's, the onus rests completely on you, and if we fail to wake up and act, we will be entirely culpable of the greatest civilizational loss of all time. The only way out is a major unification around one single force and common conviction: Jesus Christ. Yes, yes, and yes. Sorry, people might not like it. You might shut off the podcast. I've had people call me Bible thumper, all sorts of names. You think I care? She's not wrong. It was through him that the West was built to such glory and achievement, and is only through him that we have any chance at saving it by the skin of our teeth. I'm going to make a quick comment. We're going to get back into this. I just got back from Italy, and I did my pilgrimage, and again, every single time I see it, it blows you away. You look at Michelangelo's Pietà, and again, he did that in his early 20s, and it looks alive. I mean, and you say to yourself, well, he got to do this. This was not divinely inspired. You go to the city of Florence and you take a look at the Duomo there. They built this church. They had no idea how to. No, they didn't have the ability to put a dome on this thing. Brunelleschi, you know what? He gets the bid to do it. What does he do? He says, I'm going to leave it up to God. He's going to help me. You see the writings that they had and the faith that they had. Don't tell me that stuff is not divinely inspired, because it is. And we need a lot of that right now. We really do. The devil keeps winning. And yes, do I think that the devil's running the left, the progressivism in our country? Yeah. How could it not? It won here. Oh, yeah. The city of Charlotte put millions of bucks in their coffers from a left-wing NGO that they got money to empty the jails because they wanted to have racial equity. Oh, yeah. The judge that let that guy go, she never even passed the bar. Oh, and she's involved in all sorts of left-wing politics. I know you get the Black Lives Matter groups out there putting up GoFundMe pages to raise money for this individual. I'm going to say it again. And this is something you have to do, as disturbing as it is. As disturbing as it is, and again, people, I don't want my kids to see that bullshit. You show them. I'm sorry. What do you mean it's going to be messed up? No. You show them. Okay? You show them how bad things really are. And what you do, you come to someone's aid. Frightening. Again, like I said, see in Italy. Take a look at some of the frescoes in these churches and their depiction of hell. Okay? More gruesome than any horror movie. Okay? Yeah, go take a good hard look at this stuff. And that was for all to see. As a warning. Anyway, the numbers. I got to get into some of the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. You are what your record says you are. Black men commit a huge amount of violent crime in the United States. Period. The end. Every statistic confirms this fact. Black people made up almost 47,000 of the 81,000 murder suspects whose race was known to police in the past 5 years. According to the FBI, most of those killers are men. Black men, who make up about 1/14 of the American population, commit over half of the homicides. In some cities, the disparities are so stunning, you can't defy belief. St. Louis has about the same number of black and white people, about 130,000. 40,000 Asians and Latinos. So far this year, St. Louis police have identified 83 murder suspects. None are Asian or Latino. 3 are white. The other 80 are black men. No, the other 80 are black, 73 men, 7 women. This racial gap exists. Wish it didn't, but it does. It is the progressive policies, I'll call it demonic policies of LBJ that we still bow down to because we can't admit when we're wrong, that crushed the family here in the United States. Oh yeah, and I'll throw in the feminism movement as well. You don't need a man. Oh, raise a kid by yourself. Sure. How's that working out? How's that working out? Don't tell me it doesn't have anything to. We all know it does. We all know it does. We all know it is a massive problem. Who I think it was Denzel Washington said that, I think he said, there was, no father in the home. They're going to find that father in the streets. That's where they're going to find the father. This is what we have done. I'm sorry. Okay. Conservative principles that are ages. I talk about it all the time and everything. Age-old principles that work. The old ways are best. You can't tell me otherwise, for crying out loud. They were better. It's taking, when I was in Italy, I was with my brother and sister-in-law. And I know certain cities there fairly well. And it's showing them the Ospedale de Innocente in Florence, this little courtyard there. And this was an orphanage where the nuns would raise babies that mother couldn't take care, whatever it may be. They would have a little door below and they would put the baby into the door. We're supposed to take care of one another. We are. Throwing money at a problem, another damn government program. We don't need damn government programs. Government programs are the root of all evil. They're the ones that are the problems. Look at all these government programs that we've got out there. What good have they done? We keep adding on. When it's simple, what you need to look to. There's no fear of God. There's no fear of anything, for crying out loud. We've made ourselves gods. Whatever I want, at whatever point in time, I have to have. Not supposed to be this way. That's what we've turned it into. Yeah, well, while I'm on this topic, because it's going to delve into this, the reason our society is failing, this was sent out by the folks at Hallow, my favorite app. Which of the following is important to your personal definition of success? The respondents were ages 18 to 29. And each respondent was able to pick 3 choices out of 13 options. And they did this by voters. Female voted for Kamala Harris, number 1. having a job or career you find fulfilling. Number 2, having enough money to do the things you want to do. Number 3, having emotional stability. Now, what was last on the list was fame and fortune. Second to last for Kamala Harris voters that were female, having children. Third to last, being married. Male voted for Harris. Number 1 was having a job or career you find fulfilling. Number 2, having enough money to do the things you want to do. Number 3, using your talents and resources to help others. Bottom of that list was fame and influence, being able to retire early, being spiritually grounded. Female, even female who voted for Trump. Number 1, achieving financial independence. Number 2, having a job or career you find fulfilling. Number 3, owning your own home. 6 on the list for females that voted for Trump was having children. Number 9 was being married. It's interesting. Males that voted for Trump. Number 1 on the list, having children. Being married was number 4. Number 2 was achieving financial independence. Number 3 was having a job or career you find fulfilling. What does that? What does that tell you about society, priorities, where we're at? Find it interesting. I do. I mentioned earlier, we're talking about buying stuff that, on loan. Klarna is going public today. I'll throw a business thing in here because it all ties together. I have to have it. Now, most important, all of this dooms society. Just when I think, before I go away, and it was wonderful to get away, the horrific shooting, church, Minnesota. I don't know what is going to wake people up. I really don't. I don't know when we're going to actually have action. This crime should have never occurred. It would have never occurred if it wasn't for progressives. How is it that we let all of these people that continually commit crimes out of jail that are dangerous to society? I could solve the problem in a day. This happened. I flew back and spent a couple days in New York, and there was a story in New York about how home caught fire in Queens. And as it turns out, there was an old couple that were in the house. And as it turns out, that old couple were murdered and the house was set on fire. They were tied to a chair. Again, the guy walked right out, got caught on one of those Ring cameras. This Jamel McGriff, 30-year-old violent criminal history. 30 years. This guy's only 42 years old. He was out on parole for first-degree robbery. Investigators believe he stabbed the elderly couple and set their bodies on fire to cover up the murders. He is a level 3 registered sex offender, the highest risk for reoffending. Again, he's out on parole for first-degree robbery after serving 16 years. He's also wanted right now for 2 other robberies in Manhattan and attempted a Midtown robbery back in August 31st. I am, like I said, I'm a person that believes in redemption, believes in forgiveness, but again, people actually have to repent for what they've done. And you cannot allow these people to be out and about in society. It's wrong. It is. I remember years ago, I talked on the program, again, before it was Trump's idea. I suggested that we buy Greenland and turn it into a penal colony. I was kind of joking around the program. There was some horrific crime that took place. And I said, you know, I think we were talking, I think it was about pedophiles and sexual offender. I said, we need to bring that back. You need to bring it back. You know, here you go. You know, here's your survival gear. Give him a quick class on survival. Drop him off at some island somewhere. You figure it out. Figure it out. But at some point in time, they have to be removed. They have to be removed. And again, what do we get from left? Excuses. I watched a debate going on. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to commit people to institutions? Yeah. Yeah, you are. You're going to commit them to institutions. I mean, you people on the left, you don't want anybody to protect themselves. You don't want anybody to carry a gun, be able to protect themselves. Yet you want all of these people that obviously have issues that are either have issues or they're just evil, one or the other. Again, you had people insistent on certain programs. Oh, this guy he's obviously crazy. How do you know? Define crazy. What does that actually mean? Again, hoping and praying that we can pull it back in as a society. I try. I guess we all have to. But sorry, people. You know, you can't keep your mouth shut anymore. You can't get worried about, I'm going to get canceled. They're not going to like me at work, or I'm going to lose friends, or no one's going to like me. It's bullshit. Grow a set. Sorry. Okay? Man up, for crying out loud. Look at what happened for nothing. For nothing. For progressivism, for liberalism, which has been freaking rotting this country away. Watchdog on Wall Street.com.